The Civil War, PowerPoint by Rayleigh Schmidt. The key factors discussed in this PowerPoint include causes of the Civil War, specific names of battles, important war figures, artillery used in battle, and other causes of death during the war. What caused the war? The prime reason for the Civil War was slavery. The Civil War started because of uncompromising differences between the free and slave states over the power of the national government to prohibit slavery in the territories that had not yet become states. The event that triggered war came at Fort Sumter in Charleston Bay on April 12, 1861. Specific battles of the Civil War include the Battle of Gettysburg and the Battle of Glorieta Pass. Next slide is an image. And then next we will discuss important war figures. The figures that I would like to discuss are Abraham Lincoln, Clara Barton, and Ulysses S. Grant. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States and is regarded as one of America's greatest heroes due to his role as savior of the Union and emancipator of the slaves. His rise from humble beginnings to achieving the highest office in the land is a remarkable story. Lincoln played a huge role in the government but was sadly assassinated before he reunified the country. He is considered an important figure because of his leadership and dependability during these hard times. I used Britannica and biography.com for this information. Clara Barton will be our next important figure. Clara Barton is known for many things, but she is most famous for her foundation, the American Red Cross. During the Civil War, Barton sought to help the soldiers in any way that she could. At the beginning, she collected and distributed supplies for the Union Army. Not content sitting on the sidelines, Barton served as an independent nurse and first saw combat in Fredericksburg, Virginia in 1862. She also cared for soldiers wounded at Antietam, however you pronounce that word. Barton was nicknamed the Angel of Battlefield for her work. Next is Ulysses S. Grant. About Grant. Ulysses S. Grant was entrusted with the command of all U.S. armies in 1864 and relentlessly pursued the enemy during the Civil War. In 1869, at age 46, Grant became the youngest president in U.S. history to that point. Though Grant was highly scrupulous, his administration was tainted with scandal. After leaving the presidency, he commissioned Mark Twain to publish his best-selling memoirs. Next, we will discuss artillery and weapons used in the Civil War. Cannons, rifles, knives, bayonets, and swords are all common weapons used during the war. First, we will discuss cannons. Cannons were used in the Civil War because they were very effective and could take out several at a time. However, it was very common for them to misfire and cause damage to those operating it. Cannons used 4 different types of projectiles. They used solid round shot, explosive shell, case shot, and canister shot projectiles. Each of them performed differently. Next, we will discuss rifles. Rifles were common on the battlefield. They were also efficient, but took great skill to shoot accurately. Knives, bayonets, and swords will be discussed next. All of these were types of blades used during war. Mostly everyone had a knife on them, and they were used for personal reasons and for defense. Bayonets are blades that were placed on the end of muzzles, and swords were also used for defense. The next slide includes images of common weapons. Interesting facts about weapons and artillery. A team of 10 was needed to operate and shoot a cannon. Artillery was actually very heavy and required multiple people to transport and operate. Next, horses were important and were often used to operate a lot of artillery. So not only did it take men, but they also used horses to operate machinery and artillery as well. Causes of death. Besides injuries, disease killed a number of people during the war. A few specific diseases are pneumonia, typhoid, and malaria. In total, over 620,000 soldiers died during the Civil War due to injuries and diseases as well. For the last slide, I have included a reference page to give credit to all of the websites that were used to make this PowerPoint.